The shot heard round the world. A standoff between British redcoats and American militia on Lexington Green. A single shot sparks a war that will change history. How does this band of untrained militiamen manage to defeat the most powerful empire in the world? The British victory in the French and Indian War left Britain deeply in debt, so they forced controversial taxes on the American colonies, but failed to give them any representation in British politics, which outraged the colonists. A protest in Boston turned into a bloodbath when British soldiers shot into a crowd, resulting in 5 dead. To protest the taxation of tea by the British, the Sons of Liberty dressed up as Indians, boarded British ships in Boston Harbor, dumped 92,000 pounds of tea into the sea. In response, the British took over Boston and brought in more troops. With tensions rising, the colonists began to form militia groups and stockpile weapons in preparation for a conflict that was inevitable. On April 17, 1775, 700 British redcoats marched to Lexington and conquered. Their mission, confiscate the colonists' stockpiled arms. In a famous nighttime ride, Paul Revere and other patriots rushed to warn the militia about the redcoats' arrival. The British were met on Lexington Green by Minutemen, and a standoff occurred. Then suddenly, a single shot rings out, and both sides open fire. The untrained militiamen retreat, and the British continue their march to Concord. When the British arrive, the militia in the town retreat across the river, and the British start to search the town. After being reinforced, the militia go on the offensive and attack the North Bridge. The British, now realizing they are outnumbered, start to fall back towards Boston. The strongest army in the world is forced to retreat at the hands of an untrained militia. The march back is brutal. The British are repeatedly picked off from the trees by militia. By the time they reach Boston, the British have suffered some 300 casualties. Emboldened by the victory, militia forces surround Boston. In an attempt to break out of the siege, British Major General William Howe plans to take Bunker Hill overlooking Boston. But plans are leaked and the militia work hard all night to set up defenses on Bunker and nearby Breed's Hill. When Howe sees them, he tells his troops to attack. The American commander William Prescott famously orders his men to hold their fire until you see the whites of their eyes. They do just that, and a rain of lead cuts the first line of redcoats to pieces. After taking significant casualties, the British fall back. A second British wave then charges but also fails. As the militia run out of ammo, they are forced to retreat. A third and final British assault succeeds in taking Bunker Hill, but the heavy British casualties make it a Pyrrhic victory. Meanwhile, in Philadelphia, the Continental Congress appoints George Washington as commander of the Continental Army.